I visited my father's grave today, 'cause I had something to tell him, something to say, about the sacrifice he made and the price of so-called freedom that he and my Uncle Paddy paid. I often wish I could visit the latter's grave, but that's impossible for me, as he's at the bottom of the deep North Sea, put there by a Nazi U-boat with all the ship's crew, at the ripe old age of 22. I remember you used to tell me about the war and the trials and sufferings your generation had to endure, so that we who followed could have a good life. That's what you were all fighting for, and your words that most of all for me rang true were those about future freedoms for loved ones, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and aunts and uncles too. And for this alone it was well worth the hell that you all went through. However, Dad, I'm sorry to say that it's with great dismay that I'm bringing the news I have for you today. To say the least, it will cause you great pain, but you need to know this just the same, that what you all did was all, sadly, in vain, 'cause the country you fought for is now standing foursquare, defending the Nazis in the Ukraine. And, as if this weren't bad enough on its own, the same criminal and evil deeds of Nazism that to you were well known are now avidly encouraged, nay, cheered on, not only by London, but by the European Union and Washington. And I'm sure you remember the time when Nazism in Europe reigned, and without by or leave innocent people were taken away to be executed or jailed, or, if very lucky, got away lightly by incurring a fine. Well, Dad, if you were here today, to be sure you'd find that the whole erstwhile free world, along with the Nazis, are two of a kind. These words said, I bade him goodbye. I'd better go now, as the night is drawing in, but I'll never forget you, Dad, and for you I'll fight and never give in. But as I slowly walked away, in the deathly hush of the graveyard that day, I'm almost sure I heard his voice say, I'm certain I speak for all of my comrades here today, to the present generation and to the Nazi-loving media who are crapping all over our graves, I say, thanks for nothing and have a nice day. And also, if Mr. Churchill were here today, in a sombre voice you'd hear him say that despite all the millions that died fighting for erstwhile democracy's return to power, that for the Nazi regime in the Ukraine, along with Hitler, Eichmann, Goebbels and all that shower, this is indeed their finest hour.